I don't know about y'all, but if you're in family court and you're going through some of this, sometimes you have to talk to yourself. This is vent 2. I came outside, just checking all my emails and going through social media, just trying to listen to the world around me. And, you know, it sucks. I don't think people that don't ever go through this um, understand what we go through. All of this just because we want to be a parent, and then on the flip side, you don't want to be a deadbeat. How many times I've been arrested? 4 times for my kids? Not because I'm stealing like somebody's Cadillac converter or, breaking into somebody's home or robbing somebody, but I'm going to jail for advocating to be in my child's life. And I don't get it. Maybe it's because I'm being loud. Maybe it's because, they hate me. And I don't even understand why people hate me so much. All I'm saying is go by the rules. The rules are posted, right? And if they're not the rules, then they're the laws. But how do you want me to conform to the law, but y'all don't conform to the law? What I'm reading isn't being properly distributed between both parties, right? And that's the funny part, is that's what I'm fighting. This all started when I wanted to just see my child with a valid court order. Judge says, Mr. Saldana, you want to see your child? You go on these dates at this time and be at this place. And you're like, all right, Judge, I'm going to take my little boy, Christopher, to the park. And you show up, you have your court order, and you call the cops, and the cops don't do shit. And you're like, hey, man, let's just hold her accountable. What can we do to hold her accountable? Can you mitigate the situation and try to fix it? Can you, maybe talk her into it, or reason with her, or advise her it's against the law? And they don't do that. They don't want to do it. And I don't, for the life of me, I don't understand why. Well, it's a civil matter. Go back to court. You know what you do to men when you do that? Men or women. It's a financial abuse. It's a financial harm. You have now just said, hey, it's a civil matter. Go back to family court. You want to see your child? Go hire an attorney. Never mind that piece of paper that says to any peace officer of the state may use reasonable efforts to enforce that court order. I think writing an offense report for a felony is very, very reasonable. And hopefully that felony would, motivate them to follow the judicial order. I don't get it. I really don't get it. The judge is ordering you to be there. Like, so you show up, you're doing your duty, and then you call the cops because you want to tell them, hey, I'm super dad, I'm here at 6 o'clock on the dot. I want my son. What you need to do is go hire an attorney. And I don't think you have just introduced a financial harm to that person. Said if you want to see your child now, you have to pay $2,500, $3,500, $5,000 for a retainer for an enforcement package. Oh, well, you get that, then you want to do a modification. There's another 10 grand. So basically, homeboy ain't seeing this kid if you don't have the money. That's what's happening right now. So with me, I've been doing this how many years? 7. I've been showing up. And I can think of, honestly, maybe 5 to 10 visitations that I had over 2021. And they probably went as good as you could expect. But ever since then, since Christopher was born, nobody has helped me enforce that order. Nobody. Precinct 4, the Harris County DA. We talked to legislators. We got legislators to legislate new bills. We had to do all that stuff just for them to I don't know, just I've done all of that. And here we are. I still can't get it enforced. It's like we live in 2024. I think, I'm not ignorant. I can read. It says be here on 1st, 3rd, and 5th Fridays at 6 o'clock. There's cameras at every corner damn near. Cameras in cars, cameras in your pocket. You could geo tag every photo. It's not very complicated to tell the judge whether somebody showed up or not. And I think I've gone every which way in trying to dumb it down for everybody so significantly that they can't ignore it. One of the first things I did, somebody told me, interference with child custody is a state jail felony, but they're not going to enforce it because it's a civil matter. So what did I do? I just went to the horse's mouth. Who wrote it? Who touched it? Who says it's a felony? Went to the legislative page for Texas, pulled up the last time it was touched, and I read it. I researched it. Did all my homework on it. It was first legislated in 1973. In 2023, it was 50 years old, and it's always been a felony. But what did I do? I kept going. The last legislative representative that touched it. And I found my good buddy, Representative Richard Raymond. In 2011, he legislated it. So I talked to him, said, hey, man, or representative, nobody's enforcing this out on the street, and what can I do about getting it enforced? And so he set up a meeting with the Texas District and County Attorneys Association. And 6 DAs from across the state. Bexar County, there was Comal County, there was Travis County, Nueces County, Harris County, Coronel County. They all showed up. And we were in this room with like 50 individuals from the governor's office, from the attorney general's office, all of those DAs. We had people, so many people, and there was 5 of us that went. And we had a big old conversation about, is interference with child custody a felony? And it absolutely is. And we had to have that talk in Austin. So since then, we found out it's a felony. They can't lie to us. I know it is. It says it is. It was legislated as a felony. It'll remain a felony. And again, I have to reiterate this, that I don't advocate to make parents felons, but I advocate to hold people accountable. I advocate a lot to hold people accountable. So you can't tell me that I can't use the law to hold people accountable. So it's a civil matter. You can tell her it's a civil matter. You can tell her it's a felony. You can tell her the consequences of not turning over and what happens if charges. You can tell her all that, officer. But y'all don't. Officers don't. Say it's a civil matter, I can't get involved, and they walk off, leaving me to go find an attorney and spend godless amounts of money on attorneys that are ineffective in family court. So that's where I'm at. So I've been educating people that want to be educated on the system. And I encourage them to speak out. because they want to hold you accountable. They want to hold you accountable, but they don't want to hold themselves accountable to the laws, the Constitution, their policies and procedures. Then at what point are we living in, you know, some sort of free world? We're being dictated, we're being told and being ruled what to do and how to live, and if you don't like it, then go hire an attorney. And it's tragic. It's tragic that I had to find all of this out. Could have had a relationship with my child all this time, and these lawyers are playing games. These judges in Harris County are playing games, and I'm exposing it. I think every dirty lawyer trick should be exposed, and the public should know, because when lawyers are weaponizing their legal services, that's no longer legal. You are now taking advantage of somebody, and when you're weaponizing your legal services, you're removing a parent knowingly and unethically doing that. That's like, you know, it's horrible. You're weaponizing your legal services, denying that child a parent. And that's what they're doing. Lawyers are watching lawyers do it. Lawyers are watching judges. Judges are watching lawyers do it, and nobody's reporting it. And then there's no oversight. I had to find all this out through research, talking to people. I work with a large amount of people from all over the state that are advocates that are in the same situation, men and women. More men. And so now I've been getting a little bit more vocal about the things that are going through my head, because I'm not going to get fair. If judges allow attorneys to lie flagrantly and don't admonish and correct that behavior, you will never get a fair judicial hearing in Harris County. They've had ex parte communication. We've witnessed it. We've reported it, and nobody wants to take their report. Nobody wants to hold anybody accountable. But y'all are going to hold me accountable. And then you're going to have bailiffs assault me for filming what you're for filming the flagrant, disobedient judicial proceedings. Yeah. I'm sorry, there's a lot of going on. People are trying to get a hold of me, and I'm working 3 devices. But yeah, I just need to let that out. Stay safe, and follow, share, subscribe, do whatever you want. If you don't want to follow, you don't have to. A lot of people don't like me, but follow me anyway. I don't understand that. But good night. We'll talk later.